What's going on, Earth Rockers? Hey, I had a question from one of my students not too long ago, and he was asking me about open G tuning. Now, open G tuning has been used by Jimmy Page, as you saw there, and the Black Crowes, the Rolling Stones, and I think Keith Richards actually kind of learned it from Ry Cooder. Now, open G tuning, it sounds real scary when you first get with it, because at first you're like, well, I can't even hardly tune my guitar as it is. Some of us fight it all our whole life. But anyway, open G tuning, as it's known like in guitar or whatever, is like this. It's like you drop your E to the D. So that's a whole step down to D. Then you drop your A down, your A down to G. Okay, then your D stays the same, it's just D, then G, then B, we'll talk about this in a second, but B, and then D. Now, I'm tuned down a half step here. I was jamming with the band earlier, and so everything is down one half step. But anyway, the general idea is, you know, you're going down a whole step on the E string, a whole step on the A string, and a whole step on your high E string. So that's what you kind of know is, you know, open G tuning. Now, so when you realize that means like, okay, now instead of G being here at the 3rd and the 5th fret, all of a sudden now G's up here. Because see, we've slacked the strings down a whole step, so we got to go up a whole step to kind of like taking account for that. Then the cool thing is, all these chords on like the A, D, G, and B string are just one finger. So here's B flat. Here's C. Here's D. Here's E. Here's G. And so when you hit like the A, the D, the G, the B, and the E, it's all just like a G chord. And so it's pretty cool because everything's just so it's all just one finger straight across, and then you can transfer that into the slide. Now this slide's real special. This slide belonged to a guy named Mike Bruce, who played in Seeger's early band, the Smokin' OPs, with David Teagard. And he played with Bobby Blue Bland. He played with all kinds of people in the 70s and 80s or whatever. And a friend of mine that owned that store up in Owasso, he knew Mike really good. And so when Mike passed, he bought a bunch of his, you know, effects, records, guitar stuff. And so I ended up with this slide, and it's one of my real prized possessions. It's metal. Now there's glass and there's brass, and I have all of those, but I just really like this metal. It fits me good on my pinky and whatever. But, you know, open G's kind of funny because you tune to a tuner and your B string doesn't sound very good. And so what it is you got to tune the B string kind of with the chords, you know. So here's like, make believe you're strumming a G chord. Kind of comes in, that B is like a few cents flat. I never understood exactly why that works out, but it does. Is you can tune it with the tuner and it says it's in tune, then you strum it and it's just on tune. So it's some kind of idiosyncrasy in the tuning of the guitar or whatever. But anyways, you know, it's just, at first slide guitar and open tuning is a little bit easier than it is in regular tuning, but if you can kind of like get to where you can do slide guitar and regular tuning, then slide guitar and open tuning becomes a whole lot different animal. Now there's another variation that I've seen, it's called the dobro tuning, and you'll tune like the low string to G, the A string to B. So that's going up instead of down. So it's a little bit different, but still kind of the same idea. And like, you know, one thing that's cool about the open tuning is you get a lot of these harmonics that just don't show up in other tunings, you know. So it's just like, I got to where I can walk into a club, and when I hear the band playing Honky Tonk Women, I can listen to it and I can tell is the guitarist in open G or is he in regular tuning. And you can make it work any way, you know. I mean, Humble Pie did it like in A, and you know, wasn't open tuning, but the Stones did an open G. So it's just like, after a while you'll be able to tell. So it's, once again, drop your E string to D, drop your A string to G, your D string stays the same, G string stays the same, the B string's going to be a frog hair flat, just like we talked about, and then you're going to have like your E string down to D. So just kind of play around with that. Now the thing is, like, all this means all your chords that you've lovingly worked hard to learn in regular tuning don't mean spit in regular tuning, you know. And so, because everything's down a whole step, so you got to kind of learn, okay, well, you know, A minor used to look like this, now I've got to like work it to where it looks like this. You know, E minor looks like this, now I got to do it where it looks like this. So take in consideration you've lowered the string a whole step. So check it out. Just keep a guitar tuned to this and just fool around with it, you know. It's almost like learning to play all over again. But the harmonics that it sounds out, and the way you can, you know, overall, that just doesn't sound the same when you're in regular tuning. You can do it, but just explore this open G and see what you can do. Hit on all those Crows tunes and the Stones and Zeppelin and stuff like that. We'll talk to you again real soon. Hope you're doing well. Be good out there.